Mastering how to prevent common workplace injuries. Workplace injuries are happening, and it's time to stop them. Where can we focus our safety efforts to minimize the occurrence of the most common types of workplace injuries, and what specific measures can we take to prevent them from happening in the first place? To minimize the occurrence of common workplace injuries and prevent them from happening in the first place, it's essential to identify the most prevalent types of injuries and implement targeted strategies to mitigate the risks associated with each. Here are some specific measures that can be taken. Musculoskeletal disorders, MSDs. MSDs are one of the most common types of workplace injuries, affecting muscles, tendons, and ligaments. To prevent MSDs: 1. Ergonomic design. Ensure workstations, equipment, and tools are designed to fit the worker, reducing strain and discomfort. Implement ergonomic principles in the design of workspaces, tasks, and tools. 2. Proper lifting techniques. Educate employees on proper lifting techniques, such as bending at the knees, lifting with the legs, and avoiding twisting or bending. 3. Task rotation. Rotate tasks to reduce repetitive motions and give employees regular breaks to rest and stretch. 4. Strengthening and stretching exercises. Provide employees with exercises to strengthen back, shoulder, and arm muscles, and incorporate stretching exercises into daily routines. Slips, trips, and falls, STFs. STFs are another leading cause of workplace injuries. To prevent STFs: 1. Clean and clear workspaces. Ensure floors are clean, dry, and free from obstacles. Implement regular cleaning schedules and encourage employees to report spills or wet areas immediately. 2. Proper flooring. Install non-slip flooring, mats, or coatings in areas prone to moisture or frequent foot traffic. 3. Good housekeeping. Encourage employees to keep workspaces organized and clutter-free, reducing tripping hazards. 4. Proper lighting. Ensure adequate lighting in all areas, including stairways, corridors, and walkways. Cuts and lacerations. Cuts and lacerations are a common injury in many industries. To prevent them: 1. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Provide employees with appropriate PPE, such as gloves, safety glasses, and cut-resistant clothing, and ensure they are worn correctly. 2. Sharp object handling. Educate employees on the safe handling and storage of sharp objects, such as knives, scissors, and broken glass. 3. Proper tool maintenance. Regularly inspect and maintain tools to prevent misuse or accidents. 4. Emergency procedures. Develop and communicate emergency procedures for responding to cuts and lacerations, including first aid training and access to medical facilities. Back injuries. Back injuries are a significant concern, especially in industries involving heavy lifting or bending. To prevent back injuries: 1. Proper lifting techniques. Educate employees on proper lifting techniques, such as bending at the knees, lifting with the legs, and avoiding twisting or bending. 2. Manual handling training. Provide training on manual handling techniques, including lifting, carrying, and placing objects. 3. Mechanical assistance. Implement mechanical aids, such as forklifts, cranes, or pulleys, to reduce manual handling tasks. 4. Regular breaks. Encourage employees to take regular breaks to rest and stretch, reducing fatigue and strain. Workplace violence. Workplace violence is a growing concern in many industries. To prevent workplace violence: 1. Zero tolerance policy. Establish a zero tolerance policy for workplace violence and communicate it to all employees. 2. Background checks. conduct thorough background checks on new employees and contractors. 3. Secure workspaces, ensure secured workspaces, including restricted access to sensitive areas and monitoring of CCTV cameras. 4. Employee support, provide employees with access to counseling services, employee assistance programs, and support hotlines. Hazardous materials and chemical exposure. Hazardous materials and chemical exposure can cause severe injuries and illnesses. To prevent them: 1. Proper handling and storage. Educate employees on the safe handling, storage, and disposal of hazardous materials and chemicals. 2. Personal protective equipment, PPE. Provide employees with appropriate PPE, such as respirators, gloves, and protective clothing, and ensure they are worn correctly. 3. Spill response plan. Develop and communicate a spill response plan, including emergency procedures and first aid training. 4. Regular training. Provide regular training on hazardous materials and chemical handling, storage, and disposal. Electrical and fire hazards. Electrical and fire hazards can cause fatal injuries. To prevent them: 1. Regular inspections. Conduct regular inspections of electrical systems, appliances, and equipment to identify potential hazards. 2. Proper electrical cord management. Ensure electrical cords are properly managed, including avoiding overloaded outlets and damaged cords. 3. Fire extinguisher training. Provide employees with fire extinguisher training and ensure fire extinguishers are easily accessible. 4. Emergency evacuation plan. Develop and communicate an emergency evacuation plan, including regular drills and training. Mental health and well-being. Mental health and well-being are critical components of a safe and healthy work environment. To promote mental health and well-being: 1. Employee support. Provide employees with access to counseling services, employee assistance programs, and support hotlines. 2. Mental health training. Offer mental health training for managers and supervisors to identify and support employees with mental health issues. 3. Work-life balance. Encourage work-life balance by providing flexible work arrangements, paid time off, and employee wellness programs. 4. Zero stigma policy. Establish a zero stigma policy for mental health, encouraging employees to speak openly about their mental health concerns. By implementing these measures, organizations can significantly reduce the occurrence of common workplace injuries and create a safer, healthier work environment for all employees.